You know what I find funny too is like, I think there's going to be a ton of content for the Biden presidency.
Oh yeah,
in terms of like gaffes and like
yes.
but they can't make fun of him. It's like you can't spend 4 years being like Orange Man is bad, and now you get Joe Biden. And it's like, well, I mean, Biden is.
I got hairy legs.
I know we had a field day with him. It was great.
And there were cockroaches in the pool.
Corn pop.
That's the corn pop.
This is gonna be hilarious.
Bad dude.
I think you're in for a gold mine.
I am. No, that's the thing. If Biden wins, like it'll probably be really good for my channel.
You make a lot of money
because Biden gaff videos, the videos where like I animate one of Joe Biden's audio clips usually do really well, and it's a lot of fun for me also. But I would rather the country not be destroyed than.
Well, I guess the bigger issue is they're like I said, the vampire is still going to need to feed.
Yep.
And they're going to come after people like you.
They're going to come after me. They're
you
going to have
specifically.
They're going to have Seamus derangement syndrome. They're going to keep talking like, look at what Seamus tweeted today.
No,
like,
but
should he be more responsible as a cartoonist?
I think
people take him seriously. No.
If the GOP holds the Senate and Biden takes the presidency, it's not the worst thing in the world. The worst thing would be like Democrats taking everything, because then we would start to see these truth and reconciliation commissions. Let me show you what we got. We got some of this. First of all,
some of this?
Hopefully,
October 11th, healing U.S. divides through truth and reconciliation commissions.
I cannot wait.
Yeah,
healing the divide.
It has been divided, and we must be healed. They say America's divided. It's cliche. Blah blah blah.
Since
I get it. I'm not going to
commissions heal us?
Check this out. Wait,
what's
what
the
is
whole
this?
point, Lydia, of commissions?
I don't see it.
The Washington Post is saying we're not allowed to read the news.
Nonsense.
Wouldn't it be
those
funny
jerks.
if the Washington Post, like, based on your voting record, would hide articles from you? They're like, no, you know what? You don't deserve to be informed about this.
You know they do that.
Wait, what?
Not based on your voting record, based on your region.
What?
What? Oh.
So news outlets based on your region will serve up different front pages to you and different headlines.
Wow.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a long time. When I worked,
actually, I think I've seen that. There was someone took a picture of a newspaper from two different regions, but it was literally like right next to each other. The newspaper stands were right next to each other.
But it was a Democrat and it was a
yeah.
So like what'll happen is news outlets can detect where you're from when you log in, for the most part, unless you're using a VPN or something. And then it'll show a picture of Donald Trump, and he's like, throwing something, and then like the one headline will say like Donald Trump gives out gifts to fans, but then in the Democrat area it'll say Donald Trump throws trash on the floor. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm making that, but you get the point.
So Tim, do you think on the other side of the country it says that Donald Trump has 264 electoral votes and Joe Biden has 214?
I wish.
No, not like that.
And they're just going to lie. They're just going to lie to us for the next 4 years.
It depends on.
Right. Yeah.
It depends on the framing. Like it depends on.
100%.
They want to maximize traffic, so they'll frame it, but a lot of these outlets that are pumping out Orange Man bad content, which really did hurt Trump, like they just want the money.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Yeah. I am so excited for this. You know why? Like, dude, I'm one guy.
Yeah.
My overhead on my main channels is it's just me.
Yeah.
Literally me. I mean, I had to buy stuff. I had to buy cameras and a computer and all that stuff. And then I pay myself and I do work. For all these news outlets, this is what I try to explain to people when they talk about why media was dying before Donald Trump. And it was bad. I worked for, the ABC News Univision joint venture, and they were trying to figure out how to make content and make money. The only problem is they're competing with people posting pictures of cats and dogs on Facebook. So you get this news outlet says, we want to capture attention. That's what we're selling. And then advertisers can be on that attention.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to pay someone $40,000 to $50,000 a year to work in this office as a multimedia expert. That means whenever they make a piece of content, which they can make, depending on if they're writing or if they're doing a video, it's going to be once a week, if that. Then you get every single American with a smartphone filming their little dog, and it's like a video of a cat like getting ready to jump, and the cat slips and falls, and they all laugh. And there's videos of goats yelling like people, and it was all free.
Free, 100%.
Free for Facebook and for YouTube and for Twitter and Instagram. So what happens is YouTube wants attention. Facebook wants attention. They sell the same thing as the news outlets. Attention, advertising space. But they're getting everything for free and giving nothing.
Yep.
So the media companies were desperate. They were like, how do we get video content that'll capture attention if we have to pay for it and Facebook doesn't? They were losing. Well, then along came the Orange Man. And they were like, I think
he's bad.
Now you can get people putting their phone up and being like, I think Trump is bad. But it's not nearly as entertaining as political commentary and news content and shock content and police brutality videos. So then news outlets started focusing heavily on whatever they could to get that attention. If Trump goes, I think we're going to see the end of all of these blogs. You know,
That's a silver lining.
before Trump, this was back in, I think, 2015, Shane Smith, the former, I believe he's the former CEO of Vice, said there was going to be a bloodbath in digital media. They all knew that the media was dying.
Oh,
They
yeah.
could not do anything about it. Now we're looking at Tucker Carlson. He's got the
Crushing it.
highest ratings in history.
And yet-
5.3 million
and
on
yet
average.
he can't find advertisers. Isn't that interesting?
No, he's got the My Pillow guy.
The My Pillow guy is basically it, but it's incredible. My Pillow guy came in clutch. I love that.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's the truth and reconciliation that's coming.
Yeah.
So what I see happening next is we're sort of trapped in a cultural addiction spiral where if Biden ends up winning, and it's extremely close, and either way, the voters who came out for Biden are the product of the media addiction to they're desperately trying to get traffic and attacking Trump all day nonstop. There was an article that came out that said something like 98% of all political jokes, stand-up jokes, were about Trump. Only 2% were about Biden. So they're desperately trying to do whatever they can to get traffic, and thus they've created an army of people who will vote Trump out, destroying themselves in the process because he was the only thing they could use to get interest.
Yeah.
I think Obama at a rally recently was like, "Could you imagine waking up, not talking about Donald Trump?" Then everyone cheers and laughs, and it's like, I could.
they can't imagine it.
Like in January on this show, we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah. Like we had a whole segment like, man, Sonic the Hedgehog, that
was so
movie was
fun.
great. We were chilling. We were having a good time.
Super fun.
And then COVID happened, and then everyone went insane. Now we're in an election cycle, and then we became very, very political. And I'm like, dude, if Trump goes, my overhead is like nothing. Meaning, I'm a guy who looks at a camera and talks about his feelings on the internet. If Trump,
And you're very open and vulnerable with this, which I appreciate
what do you mean?
about your feelings.
He is,
What?
yes.
No, I was just kidding. Because you said feelings, yeah.
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 That's Tim. He's all about feelings.
If Trump loses, I go back to making videos about what I'm thinking and feeling.
Yeah.
And so, like, I remember a year and a half ago, I did a video about there was two women outside of a bar, and a dude came up and they swung at him and he punched her and then he got arrested. Like, that video is no particularly powerful news relevance. I saw a story and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And so I did a segment talking about it. I was like, this is really crazy. Like, watching this video, like, the guy got arrested. Why did the guy get arrested? He didn't do anything wrong. And so that's what I was doing. But what happens to these media outlets? What are they going to talk about? They've propped
Yeah.
themselves up. The bigger issue is I know they can write about dogs tripping over, toilet roll, paper
Yeah.
rolls or whatever.
Yeah.
But they have overhead. They've got to pay the salary. And the problem is the
true.
amount of money they have to pay these people versus the return they get from the content they produce is lower than it's less money than the salary, meaning it's not sustainable.
Yeah, good.
I think
I don't like 'em.
I think if Trump loses, then what's going to end up happening to the media is they're going to collapse, which is going to give rise to independent commentary, low overhead internet video, and then we are going to see probably something really weird happen in 2024.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Drew, what do you think?
I think that voter fraud is absolutely real. I think even in the 2020 primaries, like in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Virginia, we had all kinds of whole host of issues, like tens and thousands of ballots that were returned, that were rejected because of bad signatures, false information. Like, there was all kinds of issues that were going on in the primaries. And I think what's going on right now is I can't sit here and say that, like, I can't see that happening right now, because we just went through 4 years of one impeachment attempt that failed with zero evidence,
Yep.
zero
None.
evidence on
Yep.
record, and then a second attempt with zero evidence that was successful, right? They impeached Donald Trump over nothing. Literally over
Yep.
nothing. So
Quid pro quo.
So for people to sit here and say that it's a conspiracy theory to think that the left could be really doing things to rig this election is not too far-fetched, in my opinion.
Well,
They told us by any means necessary.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they also contested the results of a free and democratic election for 4 straight years. So they're clearly
Exactly.
not that invested in the process.
So why don't the Republicans will never do this, and that's why they should all be voted out. But they could launch a special investigation into Biden's Ukraine dealings.
Yeah, they totally could.
Yep.
Well, this is
Get $47 million, investigate all his connections, and
This is one of the things I said. One of the things I said was that if Biden is elected, if the Republicans do not go after him with everything that they have, every single one of them deserves to be voted out.
Mm-hmm.
Because Biden has done truly egregious things in Ukraine. He's enabled his son to do awful things. He's gotten money for his son, and he's just used the power of the
Look,
presidency to do whatever he
the
wants.
fact that Joe Biden flew his son to China on Air Force Two, government taxpayer dollars, so that his son could negotiate a massive private equity deal that would make him rich, is Joe Biden using the power of the office
Yes.
to enrich his family,
100%.
which goes to his family. Like that's it. It's like, well, Joe Biden himself didn't take the money. I don't care. Joe Biden's already rich. Oh, so when he's retiring, his son buys him a mansion. But that's his son buying the money. Yeah, he used government resources and access to get his son these meetings. The Bidens, I thought he was working class Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
Scranton
No
Joe.
malarkey
Yeah, so
Joe
do I.
sounds like malarkey to me. In my humble
no.
opinion.
Look, Scranton Joe just happened to have a kid who grew up to do international private equity deals with Chinese communists.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it's a normal thing.
It's
Yeah,
a regular,
no.
just
Yeah.
a middle
I-
American, small
I-
town American.
Yeah,
Northeast thing.
I just did a $1 billion private equity deal with China. You know, like my neighbor.
normal.
Yeah.
My neighbor is he's
hasn't?
a goat farmer.
Who
Yeah, he
hasn't?
did one too.
Who
Yeah, it's no
among
big deal.
us?
Yeah, who among
Exactly.
us?
That's not.
He who is without a $1 billion China deal may cast the first stone.
Indeed.
Yes,
is what
of
I
course.
always say.
Yeah.
Of course, dude. It's gonna be hilarious if Joe Biden wins. I don't know what's gonna happen, man, but I know that it's gonna be like, people like to say clown world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. Like, could you imagine? Well, actually, I think it's fair to point out I may be a little bit optimistic here because, like, how long is Joe Biden gonna last?
I have no idea. I like to. I imagine he'll step down after about a year, and then Kamala will be the president. Because
I don't think he'll step down.
You don't think he'll
I
step down?
think
You
he's gonna
they'll
get
remove
forcibly
him?
removed.
Ooh.
Nancy Pelosi put together.
Dude, but do you think you think he'll be forcibly removed? Like, do you think Joe Biden wants to be president?
Here's my prediction. I am actually kind of leaning towards Trump getting a court victory. But
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a toss up. It really is. Like, that press conference Trump did earlier was sad. I thought it was sad.
100%.
Like, he was
Sad.
Yeah. He was like, quite frankly, we did really well, but there was fraud, and it was like there was no energy, there was no strength behind it, and it did not seem confidence building. But so that's why I'm like, it's a toss up. But I do think I wouldn't know which way it's going to go. I think people would be nuts to underestimate Trump's base of support, and the accusations and the videos that are popping up need to be investigated. Trump might go to the courts and they might say, in Nevada, we found 20,000 ballots for whatever reason are disqualified, and then Trump wins. And then Trump wins Nevada.
And I don't think people understand this. People, like, that's not abnormal.
Right.
Like, the public and our population has been convinced because of COVID that, like, mail-in ballot voting is, like, successful.
Yes.
That's not it's
New York
always-
Times warned us about it.
in 2012.
Right.
They
Yeah.
said that that's literally the most probable abused version of voting, form
Yeah.
of voting.
But that's
Totally.
I'm not super concerned about that right now. I mean, like, I think the issue right now is the past deadline ballots, and there was a Republican poll watcher who said he saw an unidentifiable woman shuffle a stack of ballots in with another stack of ballots, so they're not segregating the ballots between those that come in after Election Day. It's possible that Trump goes to the Supreme Court and they say how many ballots in Georgia or in Nevada were from after Election Day, and we have hard data saying it was 20,000. Cut them out.
I mean, and the Trump campaign sent observers to observe the ballot counting, and then they're starting to put, I mean, even
board
people
up the
that
windows.
they're boarding up windows. Like,
Yeah,
if you have
blocking the
nothing to
windows.
hide, then why are you guys boarding up windows?
Why were the Democrats
They're
trying
worried
to
about
resist
those
that?
Republican rioters who are going to lose their minds and start
Why do
breaking windows.
Democrats appeal?
Right.
Right?
To-
Why
to-
are they
to block
appealing to
Trump's
block Trump's
count vote.
people
Yeah.
It's the most
from
ridiculous
observing?
thing ever.
So, no, that's what I want to talk about. I want to understand why. If you have nothing to hide, then why are you trying to hide
Yes.
something?
You're sounding like the NSA right
And
now.
I don't care. Listen, I don't care. Republican, Democrat, Trump supporter, Biden supporter. I was telling Lydia this the other night.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, I am ready, and I think mature enough to take a massive L.
Yeah.
As a Trump
Sure.
supporter,
Yeah,
right? You're not going to
100%.
see me screaming at the sky because
Exactly.
Joe
You
Biden,
sure?
right?
Drop to your knees and go.
I'm not going to be screaming at the
That's
sky.
actually why
Well,
we
I
got
got-
we
I
were-
got-
we
I
were
got-
having-
What do I
got-
want?
wait, I gotta
Integrity,
stop. I gotta- hold on,
integrity,
hold on.
truth, and honesty.
They've
Yeah.
made a they've
Good
made
for
a
you.
meme where they superimposed Trump's face on that woman.
Ugh.
It's funny. I thought it was hilarious, but it's also kind of sad for them because that's the only way they could have gotten it.
Yeah.
The only way they could get a conservative dropping to their knees and screaming "No" at the sky was to superimpose Trump's face on their own,
Person.
ally.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. We do the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. So come back to check us out when we go live. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and we are also available on all podcast platforms for free if you want to listen to us there. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you all next time.